this shows how we've gone full circle, which is Uruguay is a really small country punching above its weight. And I guess we should stop now, put our first verdict of the new season. So, Phil, as a reminder, we have 5 categories of greatness, from all-time greats to the top, true greats, followed by our mid-tier category, touch of greatness, followed by edge of greatness, blink of greats, and without being where we are today. Phil, where do you fancy putting this lot?
Well, I kind of crunched some of the numbers and tried to put it in historical perspective. So if you look at the statistics for men's international football and tournament success, FIFA World Cup victories, obviously Brazil 5, Germany 4, Italy 4, Argentina 3, and then Uruguay with France 2 each. Pretty good. We would have liked that type of success as England supporters. And that's on top of all of the kind of the semi-finals and other competitions that we kind of talked about. And then if you look at Olympic gold medals, you've got Great Britain 3 gold medals, Uruguay 2, Argentina also 2, and then France, Hungary, Brazil, and most recently Spain as well. So if we kind of go back to that first point in terms of the population of Uruguay and the relative sparsity of resources that they can kind of draw upon, and then you look at the success not only of the international team, but also in the clubs in South American competition, as well as the players that have kind of been a success not only in Uruguay but around the world. It's kind of quite a remarkable story. So I'm thinking, I think it's difficult, but I'm thinking it might be harsh, but true great, perhaps.
Yeah, Jamie, what about you?
Yeah, I like where Phil is there, and I think for me the population is such an important fact in how we're judging this nation. Uruguay have no right to win any international football tournament back in the 1920s, in the 1930s, the 50s, or any period of time, purely based on population statistics. Because when you draw comparisons, they're just in a stratosphere of their own. They're competing against countries with far bigger resources and far bigger populations. I think their importance in terms of like shaping the game and probably shaping the European game that was quite happily going along in its own way until 1924, where these guys rocked up in Spain and won their 9 friendlies, then went on to the Olympics and won gold, and then came back 4 years later and won gold, and then hosted the World Cup and won the gold medal in the World Cup in 1930 to become the first World Cup winners. I have to go for the top bracket on this one, and I think Uruguay, purely based on the history and the population, deserve to be seen as all-time greats.
Out comes his blue Uruguay shirt. Out he comes, the fist pumping as Luis Suarez takes another chunk out of an opposition player. Classic Rooney. It is. I have to say, all the things that might make you, so they obviously have lots of things in their favour in winning those 2 World Cups. In terms of, the home advantage is a massive thing in terms of 1930, and obviously still in 1950 as played in Brazil again. South America gives a lot in your favour. And when we talk about 1930, there might be some refereeing advantages, or having some of the your mates who are coaches running the line at the same time. But they had all of that in reverse in winning those 2 Olympics. They had absolutely no right to win those 2 Olympics, and I think it is difficult because the players, because it's such a long period of time ago, because it's pre-TV, all that sort of stuff, you don't really have the same attachment to them that you would say Brazil and Pele's kind of era of Brazil. But I think it's just, if you look at winning those first 4 Pro Ball tournaments, all won. Simple as that. I think you could make the case for all-time greats. I think if you factor in that one of their players only had one arm, that tips the scales for me. I'm going to go with you, Jamie. Uruguay, 1930.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, Graham. Jamie, in memory of Augustin Hector Castro Rodriguez,
Yeah.
the one-armed or maimed. I think you're absolutely right. I take it all back.
Uruguay, 1930. The very rarely heard all-time great.